Hi, Adriana. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this.
And finally, we get to meet face to face, or face to
I
face, face to camera.
I know, and I'm not used to seeing you with a bun. I'm used to seeing you with your hair out.
I know, I know. Well, this is what's happening. So something a little bit different. Can't get to the hairdressers all the time now.
None of us can get to the hairdressers. My hair is appalling. I've got
No,
it in
you
a
look
bun.
great.
So this is exciting. Let's dive right in with maybe a bit of a background on your styling career to date.
Okay. So basically how I started all of this, is that
Yeah,
what you're asking?
yeah.
Okay, so I used to work in the fashion industry and absolutely loved fashion and growing up. So I actually had a friend of mine who pushed me into basically saying, start your own business, Adri, and start hiring. So you know how you can hire dressers now, and
Hmm.
so at the time I had 3 little children. It was just going to be too hard for me to do. So I kept staying in the fashion industry. But I happened to be at the right place at the right time, where started working with Quintessentially, and they gave me the opportunity to, be their stylist. So I don't know whether you've heard of Quintessentially. Have you heard of them?
Don't think
They're
so.
they're an elite concierge company, and they started at Westfield, Sydney. And basically, you had to. Quintessentially was a very high profile VIP concierge company, and I was their stylist. So I started there, and then they moved out of Westfield, and Westfield's asked me to come back in, and it's just started all from there.
And you are back in Westfield now. You're the head stylist at
I'm the
Westfield.
head. Yes, yes. So, Adriastyling is my company. I'm very, very fortunate to be on board with Westfield. So, I am the head stylist for Westfield Sydney as well as Westfield Miranda. I also work at Bondi, but I also freelance as well. So,
And what does
very, very fortunate.
being a head stylist at a retailer like Westfield, what does that mean? What does that entail?
That entails that when you've got clients that are wanting to be styled, I'm the first one that they will call, and I'm the first one that they will promote. They know that I make things happen, and basically I'm there for them all the time. So in the sense where I'll meet and greet them in the styling suite, make them feel super comfortable, and take them on a great shopping experience, and get their confidence back and make them feel good, look good, and so make shopping even easier for them to go out and look for things that suit their style and their body shape. And it's a lot of fun. It's all about having fun.
And I know with Westfield, they have that service, the personal styling service that they offer through, I think, their valet or concierge
Yeah.
department, and the customers will book through Westfield, but then you are the one that meets the client and takes them on that shopping and styling experience.
That's correct. Yes.
So what, with the customers that you serve, or the personal styling clients that you serve in a retail environment like that, what are they looking for? Are they happy to just sort of go from shop to shop, or do they want the VIP experience in the styling suite?
So, well, it all depends on the client. Every client gets the VIP experience with me. So every client I meet will meet me in the styling suite. That's where we actually chat over a champagne or a coffee or a wine, whatever it may be, and I get the sense of what they're after. Some of them hate shopping. Some of them don't know what to look for. Some of them, it's just they haven't got the time to go out and shop. Some of them don't even know how to put things together. So that's where I come into it and help them put it all together, and make it easier for them. So that's what basically I do.
So in Sydney, are you finding that a lot of shoppers are now looking for that guidance, that sort of styling expert to take them around the centre? I'm in shopping centres all the time just because I love shopping, and I notice all of us are wandering around aimlessly. So I was
Mm.
interested to know whether the demand for personal stylists within shopping centres is slowly increasing.
Do you know basically how it works? once they've got somebody, once you do it to once you style a particular, whether it be male or female, it's word of mouth. They'll speak to their friends and go, oh my gosh, I've just had the most amazing experience. One, they're also saving money too, because the reason I say that is, with me, I'm very lucky with the stores. They offer me a stylist discount. So what they pay for my fees, they will get back in return. And plus they're getting my service on top of that as well. So they're enjoying the experience. So the word of mouth, once they go to their friends and they actually have that little bit of a chat saying, you know, I've been styled today, because most people think that having a stylist is only for the rich and famous, which it's not. It's not. It's for everyday people, and I will work within your budget as well. You don't have to have a huge budget to work with. I will work with your budget, even if that means that I don't always just do high-end. I'll take you to Kmart. We'll make it happen. So therefore people, it's not just for, you know, people that have got huge pay packets and wallets, and it's for everyday people. And once they experience it, they actually love it. And they actually save money too, because they're not buying pieces that aren't suited for them as well. So many people do buy pieces and they just have them sitting in the wardrobe and they don't use them. They don't know how to put them together. They don't know how to style them. So that's where I come into it.
And so you're lucky you have brands within the centre that will provide some sort of discount if you take the client into the store. Did you organise that directly with the stores, or did Westfield organise that for you?
I organised a lot of it with the stores, but also Westfield's. I did ask Westfields to put it out there and say, look, we've got a client. It's a smart thing to do. Offer me a discount, and of course I'm going to bring my clients in, and you know, you're going to be making money as well as
absolutely,
you know, giving these clients a little bit of a VIP discount. So it's just a really smart way to do it. And I tell you, the first ones to come on board with that was Saba. So whenever I take a client in, Saba has said to me, we'll give you, your client, a 35% discount. I love Saba clothes. So therefore, we could even do the one store, take them in. They're already saving with what they've got to pay me, and they're getting their free styling session.
And they're buying better.
So many beautiful pieces. Exactly.
Quality. Yeah, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I know that you work with brands within the retail centres, and I know that particularly in this current environment, now more than ever, a lot of these brands that have physical stores want customers to come into their stores. The centres want people to come into their shopping centres. And so for people like you who have built a career working with these brands and centres already, it's amazing. But there's all these other personal stylists out there that have their own mini communities of highly engaged shoppers who trust in their aesthetic and their guidance. And if these brands and retailers and stylists can work together, perhaps there's ways of providing, I guess, sort of value-added experiences or discounts or VIP.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I'm one for working with other stylists as well. So I think if we can all work together, we create, you know, it's just, we're all helping each other basically. For in particular, I will go into my styling suite and I'll work with the stylist there as well. So we're all helping each other, and we're just giving more of a VIP experience to our clients. So that's really, really important. I know a lot of stylists feel that they can walk into a store and I'm the stylist and, you know, I just drop everything and help me. It's not that. It doesn't work like that. I think because I've had the background experience of being in a retail store and I know what it's like, you know, I actually get the girls on board with me, and I'll always introduce myself and basically say, this is what I'm doing, you know, how about you help me out? And obviously they get commission as well. The more sales they make, most people that are in store do work on commission. So help me and I'll help you out. So, and we can work together.
Do you feel that it's better to meet or introduce yourself to the store managers individually, let's say, you know, before you've even got clients, just to let them know who you are and what to expect and how to best work together?
Absolutely. When I first started as a stylist, I went into every store into Westfield and introduced myself. This is going back 8 years ago. Now, so many stores have changed in Westfield. So whenever there's a new store that pops up, basically you go in there, you introduce yourself, you tell them what you're able to do for them. As they all know me now in Westfield, Sydney, and as well as Miranda, and I can literally walk in the store and they know straight away. They'll pull a rack out for me. They know I've got a client with me, and they'll give me that little bit of an extra service. So that's so important to do that. And you know, they're there to help you as well. So a lot of workers in the store feel that sometimes they may be intimidated by a stylist, but make them feel comfortable, make them work with you. You know, they'll know what's just come in, so they made him pull out some pieces for you that aren't on the floor there. So it's working together. It's really, really important.
So that relationship that you cultivate with the individual stores and the store staff is probably, I guess, a foundational step.
Absolutely. It's very, very important to do. Yeah, very, very important that they know who you are and when you walk into the store, because one, let me just say too, that the client's paying you an hourly rate or 2 hourly rate. Sometimes you may have a sales assistant that may come in, doesn't know who you are. We're showing you everything that the client doesn't want, and we're just wasting time. So that's why it's really important to introduce yourself, tell them who you are, introduce your client as well, make them feel important as well. And basically I walk in and I'll always say, this is my client, we're looking for a particular skirt, show me what you have. And they'll come out and show me in that, and they won't show other things as well, as like, for example, here I am mumbling a bit now. So, do you know, I can talk literally to 100 people, but when I come on the camera, I hate it.
It's because we get distracted looking at ourselves. And I will note, this is the first time I have done both the video as well as the audio for a podcast, but
gosh, I hope I look all right then.
No, you look great. We've both chosen a nice sort of greeny, you know,
green,
vibe.
that's it. Exactly.
I was thinking that this would help, because then at least we can see each other talking. Often I will accidentally talk over people. So I think...
No.
I think don't worry about mumbling. You just, as much detail as possible is great.
Yeah, okay. So, look, for example, I've gone into particular stores and I'll say to the manager or whoever, the sales assistant, whoever's helping me, this is what we're looking for. And then they start to bring out everything else. And it's like, no, this isn't what we want. So we're wasting time. Our time is precious. When I am with my clients, my time is precious, it's valuable, and we don't want to waste time. So it's really important that you do have that communication skills with the store that you're going to go into, and that they do know who you are.
So would you recommend doing a sort of like a debrief or like a prep session, maybe an hour before you have the client appointment, to perhaps put some things aside in every store, or is it sufficient to just come in at the time?
Well, it's depending on if it's a new client, we definitely will just go from, you know, the way I work is basically when I'm sitting down and chatting with my client, there's always a reason why they come and they want a stylist. So I get to know a lot about them, and I don't know, I think it's just I can just pick what kind of person they are, what kind of lifestyle they have. Well, when I say I can pick, they tell me what lifestyle they live. Sorry, let me start again. Basically, I will ask questions, tell me a little bit about your lifestyle. Once they tell me about their lifestyle, I'll know exactly what they're looking for, what kind of person they are. Of course, I'm going to direct them the opposite way too, because I don't always want to give them what they're used to. So I want to introduce them to new looks, new styles. As women, we tend to, and males as well, we tend to go for the same look all the time. And they don't realize that there are so many styles out there that can create a great look, make them look slimmer, taller, shorter, all of those things. So my job is to create a new look for them as well. So yeah, going back to your question, if it's a first client, they'll come shopping with me. If it's one of my clients that I've styled many times, I can actually go and pull stock for them. And again, I'll bring it into the styling suite and style them in the styling suite. So because I know exactly what they have, and and what they're looking for.
Now, you're able to use the styling suite because you are the official stylist working on behalf
Yeah,
of Westfield. What
that's
advice would
correct.
you give for aspiring stylists or stylists earlier on in their career that might be taking a client on a shop that don't necessarily work for Westfield, but would like to provide still a professional experience when they go into each store with their client?
Okay, my advice would definitely be, if you haven't got a styling suite, meet and greet them in a nice coffee shop first. Sit down, chat with them, get them to feel super comfortable with you. It's really, really important. And then maybe if you introduce yourself to the stores prior and tell them you're going to be bringing a client in, those stores will actually help you out as well. They may even give you the bigger fitting room, and then you can work from there. So uh, not everybody has a styling suite, but yeah, look, even if you go into the stores and as mentioned, they'll look after you as well. They'll look, but firstly important, it's very important that you do meet and greet in a coffee shop, or there's times when maybe my styling suite may not be available, but I'll always meet and greet in a beautiful set somewhere, in a cafe somewhere.
And do you find that the clients are happy to walk around from shop to shop, or do they prefer someone to curate a selection of garments that's in one spot so they don't need to walk around?
No, most clients are happy to go from store to store. I do explain to my clients at first that, we have to go from store to store. The reason being is that way, I know there's so many styles out there that I know that you may not look at, or you may walk past that store thinking it's not for you. So that therefore it's me
You've got to
basically
be out there.
introducing them to new stores. You have to be out there the first time. It's a little bit difficult I have done it before. I've spoken to a client over the phone. She's given me a description and style that she likes, and I brought stock up into the suite. So it's a private VIP service there, and she doesn't have to walk around. But I can make it work, but it's so much easier the first time that we do go from store to store.
And if you were to open up a dialogue with brands from an industry perspective and ask them for some further support when it comes to personal styling appointments, what would you love to see brands and individual stores doing to make your personal styling session just that next level professional? That little bit more special.
Okay, so having a sales assistant follow me, shadow me to make things, just to grab things for me, but also even if you just offer a bottle of water, some champagne, or give them that little VIP experience, they love it. They actually love it, just to be there and help us. And whenever I'm needing anything, everything's, they're there to access everything, but just offer that, champagne would be even nice. A coffee. Would you like a water? They're just little simple things that will make that little bit more of an enjoyable shopping experience for the client.
What about when it comes to the purchasing of the items? Would it be a benefit to have the store say, look, we're going to deliver this to your door, or we're going to provide complimentary alterations?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a shame, but not many stores do provide complimentary alterations, especially if they're offering me a discount to give to my clients. Mm-hmm. But even just giving them that full experience and making them feel important when they come in, and a true valuable customer. Even offering, look, if you're parked in the car park, can we help you carry your bags? Or, if you want to keep shopping, we'll put your bags behind the counter. Just little things like that would help. Yeah, absolutely.
So how much would a personal styling client spend if we consider basket size? A lot of marketing managers of retail brands are focused on trying to drive up that average transaction. And I know with personal styling clients, these women are buying a lot in one go. Yeah. So therefore, they probably require a little bit of extra TLC, a little bit of extra value because they are spending so much money. So what's the price range normally?
Well, that's a tricky one, because I could actually say I've had clients spend $500 to $39,000 in one hit. And
wow.
I'm not kidding. I've got clients that will just yeah, they're amazing that don't have to think twice about buying. So
No, but they trust
I
you
actually
and they
have.
trust your judgment.
Oh, well, I also do the wardrobe consult, so I know exactly what's in their wardrobe and what's going to work. Yeah, they do trust my judgment. There was one particular client that said to me, well, what do you think, Adriana? What do you think I should buy? And I said, well, your budget. And it doesn't matter about my budget. So I just said, basically, let's have it all. So $39,000 later, they did ask me, they actually came to $43,000 and they did say to me, can you get me a discount? I said, oh, I will make sure you will get that discount.
I think we can organise something. What about a complimentary bottle of water?
We did. Yeah. No, it was a he actually got that $3,500 discount that I organised for him, so which was good.
But that's incredible to have the power in this current retail environment, to effectively have the power to drive purchasing amounts to that level. $39,000, when in that store I would imagine the average transaction might be $500, $2,000. I don't know if it was in one particular store or within a centre.
Well, this one was in one particular store. This one was, but I've actually had clients overall spend in all stores probably 30,000, just like that. Yeah, 30,000, and that's in all different stores. Yeah, but not everybody spends that amount of money, and that's what I want to make clear too. Even if your budget is $500, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm here to provide a service. I'm here to provide you to look good, feel good. So I don't want to intimidate those ones that don't have that budget, that they can't have a stylist with them to style them.
Because I guess within those centres, there's also a range of tiered brands and stores. As you mentioned before, there's
Absolutely.
Kmart, Target, all the way up to your Hugo Boss or Chanel, or depending on the centre that you're in. Tell me, those clients, I know you've got around 110 clients, which is incredible as a personal stylist.
I do. Yeah.
How did you start building that client base? I know it's taken time.
It has taken time. To be honest, it's all word of mouth. You do a good job, they'll talk. And that is the best communication that you can have for a business. So basically it was word of mouth. I'm very lucky that if you Google Westfield Stylist, I will come up on their social media. But for me, it's all word of mouth, and my Instagram. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers or 10,000 of followers, but the followers that I do have are true followers.
They're engaged.
So they're all engaged, yeah. And I literally, it's very important too when they ask me a question that I respond back to them, which I always do. Sometimes it might take me a few hours to respond back to all of them, but I'm always there for them, and they know that, so I make them feel very important. But yeah, definitely word of mouth. I've had amazing opportunities that has put me out there in the papers as well. I've done television as well, which has put my name out there as well. So
some PR as well.
PR. But it's definitely, you do a good job, and it's the best communication to get you out there and people wanting you.
So for those that are starting, those that are finishing their studies and launching their business, or for those that really need to boost their client base, would you recommend perhaps styling some clients for free to then encourage that word of mouth process, or perhaps using that content for social media?
No, absolutely. Put yourself out there. The amount of times that I put myself out there for free because I wanted to show them the skills that I had, it's like, sometimes you've got to just do it, and then that's where it all starts. You're giving them an experience. They're going to talk about it. Put it, take photos while you're styling as well, and put it on your social media. Everybody's got Instagram nowadays, and build it up from there on. And you'll see that if they like what you do, they'll want you again and again and again. So, and then that's when you can start charging your fee.
Because you mentioned your clients book in every sort of 3 months or so for, I guess, a refresher shop. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct. So every 3 months they'll book in, and I think too, it all comes with age as well. So I am that little bit older than an 18-year-old, obviously, and I can. My clients are based from 25. Oh, look, I have styled 17-year-olds as well. So, but really, my clients based from 25 onwards, and it's gosh, I've forgotten what I was going to say then. I forgot. What was the question? Sorry.
I've forgotten it too because I was just so focused on the age.
Yeah.
We were both busy looking at ourselves. Oh yes, they're shopping. They're shopping every 3 months, which is quite a frequent.
Every 3 months. That's yeah. Most women love to refresh their wardrobe. Most women don't have to work, and obviously I get on really well with my clients, and it becomes more like a friend thing that we both go shopping and can have a coffee and a giggle and whatever. And at the end of the day, I am doing my job, but I am able to relate with my clients as well. But it's just refreshing their wardrobe and what's out now. And I also shop for my clients even when they're not with me, and I may see a certain style that they might like. Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, I just you just changed outfits.
Sorry. You you're there. Sorry.
Yeah.
So basically, I also, as I was saying, I also shop for them. So I may see a particular style that I like, and then I'll give them a little bit of a buzz or a message or an email saying, I think this would be great for your wardrobe. So, and then we'll organise a time to go shopping.
So is that, I was just going to ask you how you prompt them to rebook every 3 months. Is that, is your way, I guess, reaching out with something that you've seen, and then that sort of triggers that, oh yeah, you know what, I might book in with you again?
Yes and no. No, 90% of my clients, they love to have new pieces in their wardrobe. They can afford to go out and shop. They could afford to go out and shop every day if they wanted to. But it is even sending out newsletters to your clients and letting them know what's new in, or an email to a particular client saying, as I mentioned, I've seen a great blazer. I think it'll work with your wardrobe. It's a great stable piece to have. Let's go and check it out. Let's go and, when you've got time. And most of them, they do rely on what I think and how it fits. So then they'll book in with me, and then we'll go shopping together.
So when we think about the services that you currently offer and what clients are looking for, down the track, have you got any plans to commercialize those text messages and telephone calls, and perhaps, the FaceTimes that they might be asking if they just need advice on an outfit?
Sorry, you just cut out on me. Yeah.
I was just going to say, do you, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Talk. Yeah.
So with regards to what clients are looking for in terms of extra styling support or ongoing styling support, do you have any plans to commercialize those phone calls or text messages or FaceTime phone calls that you might have when they're asking your opinion on something? Or is that part of your hourly fee?
No, look, when I style a client, they know that I'm there for them afterwards, and there's no fee. I want to keep that relationship going with my client. I want my clients to feel that they can message me, email me anytime, that, even if they're going out on a Saturday night and they're not quite sure how to put their outfits together, I'm quite happy if they send me a message, and I'll always respond back to them to make them feel good about themselves. So no, I don't charge them for that, but I always my clients, I just literally remember who they are, what they have. I've also got an album of what they've purchased, so I know exactly what to add to it. But every now and then I will send out a newsletter to them and saying what's in, what's not. How about we decide to do a wardrobe detox So I'll always stay in touch with them, whether it's via email or Zoom, or with COVID, with all this happening, it's been a lot of Zoom meetings and, chatting face to face, even through FaceTime. And so, yeah, it's staying in touch with them is really, really important.
And it sounds like staying in touch with them in a personalised, customised way is more important than kind of those bulk emails that you send to everyone.
Exactly. Being a stylist is also like being a psychologist. Seriously, you get to know every little detail about them. They trust you. They tell you so much about themselves, and so therefore every client I have is personal. I never talk to anybody about my clients. You need to keep that super personal, and we've got such a good relationship.
So everything that you send them needs to be relevant to them, as opposed to, let's say, no or no?
Not always. I'll send out a monthly newsletter every now and then, and saying what's in the stores and and that sort of goes out to everybody. But if I'm being personal, I'll just direct it straight to them. So yeah, send them out a little message saying something directly to them. But every now and then I'll send out a newsletter saying what's happening in the fashion industry, and what's new, and check out this top. Or yeah, so it's really important. And not only that, even if they don't read it for a couple of days, and once they open it, they remember. Oh yeah, I'll go out and check it out, or they'll respond back to me, and there's always something else I'll ask you as well.
Yes, I think that's one thing with stylists. Everyone's got a sort of a handful of questions on standby at all times. Mine, for everyone that knows me will laugh when they hear this, mine is always, where do I find the ideal pair of jeans? I want high-waisted, I want straight leg, I want them cropped, I need the denim thick enough to hide all the lumps and bumps.
I could tell you exactly.
Everyone's got their questions. And tell me, I had another question for you with regards to working in a shopping centre. How did you, how did you go about partnering with Westfield or coming on board as their head stylist?
Okay, so basically when I was working for Quintessentially, they were in Westfields. And then they decided to move out from Westfield. Then Westfield had asked me to come back on board, come back in, and start styling with them. So because they saw how well it worked with Quintessentially. So there was about 5 of us stylists that worked for Westfields at the time. So basically, they asked me, then it was that busy that they had to hire another 3 or 4 afterwards. I happened to be the one that would respond as soon as the message would come out. And that's really important, that when you're a stylist, you will get emails saying, I've got a client that's wanting a styling session. Answer it straight away. You've got the job. Don't think I'll answer it in an hour's time. I'm even the one, even if you're in the bathroom, you've got your phone in there, you just answer it. Yep, I'm available. Yep. Even if you can't do it, you make yourself available. So,
it's the hustler's mentality.
I was on a mission.
Yeah.
You've got to hustle. Absolutely. Because if you're not going to answer to that email, somebody else is going to take the job. And I wasn't going to let that happen. So I always made myself available, and they saw that I was very reliable. And so I didn't have to work full time when I first started as a stylist. So whenever, even if it was 3 jobs a week, I was satisfied with that. And but then it started to build up, and now I am the head stylist. I've been there for 8 years, and I've had the most amazing opportunities. And for those ones that are starting out there, never say no. You may say yes to the job, walk away and go, how the hell am I going to do it? But you can do it.
Gosh, that's such great advice. Never say no, or always say yes, depending on whether we want a positive or a negative spin on it.
Yeah, I do remember I was asked to do a talk on a fashion brand as well as Priceline, and it was live. And I've got this fear of getting up on stage and talking. Not so bad now. I've had to do it many times. And I did say yes to the job. I did literally woke up the next morning hyperventilating, going, what the hell am I doing? Yeah. What am I doing? Why did I say yes for? I knew I could do it, but I was so nervous. And that was the very first one that I ever said, I can't do it. I can't do it. But that taught me basically to think, no, you know what? You can do it. You could have done it. And so I've never said no from there on.
That reminds me, I was doing a talk to a group in a shopping centre once, and I was so nervous, same as you, really anxiety, really nervous. And I remember looking at the crowd halfway through my speech, and one woman was completely asleep, just asleep.
What did you do?
I just burst out laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's true.
You just have to do it. It's even if you're nervous, even if you do a terrible job, if you can connect with the people that are awake, it makes it worth it. And presumably when you do your talking engagements, you do end up picking up a few clients from those, or certainly
absolutely.
some leads.
Absolutely. I did have an opportunity once where they got they asked all the marketing team in Westfield to come down because they were all getting new uniforms, and they wanted to introduce me, as well as, you know, me talk about the clothing. Now we're talking like CEO of Westfields and all that, so I did get quite nervous. I literally felt like I was growing hair in my mouth, fur in my mouth. So it was that. I did an amazing job. Apparently, I did an amazing job. And you always will doubt yourself when you walk away. I should have said this. I should have said that. But you know what? I say practice the night before. I know what you're going to say now, so I can get up on stage now and I can talk freely, and I just be myself. I do focus on one or two people in the crowd, which makes it easier to sort of get through.
There's always a few in the crowd that are sort of nodding and smiling, and then you go, right, okay, I'm going to talk to you. So for stylists looking to build their business and certainly their connections with other brands, would it be worth them contacting or walking into those stores and saying, hey, look, I'd be comfortable doing a little talk to your client, to your customers for free, or, you know, offering services as an MC of sorts? Or is that something that you really need to be invited to do?
Yeah, look, you could offer your services. Absolutely, you could go in there and offer your services. But most of them do want. Look, some of them may say, yes, we'd love to have you on board, but you'll find that most of them these days want you to also bring your own clients in. So my advice would be, these stylists that want to be a stylist, make sure that you've got the background in the fashion industry, that you've actually worked on the floor and you realize, you know, what it's all about. So you need to put yourself out there. So go in and say, look, hey, I want to be a stylist. You know, is it possible that I could work for you 2 days a week, so you get the feel of what it's all about as well. So I'm very lucky. I have got that background experience in the fashion industry. I've managed stores. I know what it's all about. So therefore,
you know how to help them do their job
better.
I know,
exactly. So yeah, so my first advice is, if you've never worked in a fashion store, definitely go in and get that little bit of experience. Secondly, yeah, absolutely, if you're confident enough to go into a store and have a little bit of a spill and a talk to their clients, and they're allowing that, go for it. That's amazing if you can do that. Absolutely.
I guess all of these opportunities just are ways of building rapport with the stores. Even if they don't take you up on that offer to begin with, you're getting to understand what they need. Each individual store, I know there are some that love stylists to bring their own clients in. There are other stores that focus more on providing loyalty experiences for their own database. So perhaps it's you coming in and providing that added value to their customers. But as you said, I think a lot of stores do like you to bring in your own clients for those sorts of events, don't they?
They do, and they do. But if you're going to go into a store and do a little bit of a pre-styling session, make sure that they advertise for you as well. That way, you know, even I've always said, even when you're working in a store, they are stylists working in a store. But when you've got a personal stylist that comes in and you know, has that little bit of a name for themselves, clients do get excited because they are getting a free service, but it's the advertising that is really important. So if, say for example, you're going in to work for Chic just we'll use Chic, for example. If
Mhm.
they advertise that we have a stylist coming in through their social media, that'll help bring more people in for you as well. And even just put your face out there. So that's how it all starts. If they promote you and put a picture of you on their social database, on their social media, that's a great start as well.
Mm. Oh, such great advice. Thank you so, so much for
Oh,
sharing all of
I
those insights.
My pleasure. I get so many young girls that email me, and if I've got that chance, I will give them the opportunity, because I only wish that I had that opportunity when I was 17, 18, wanting to be a stylist or in the fashion industry. So I will always give them the opportunity, even if they want to come with me for an hour or so,
Oh, that'd
and
be
feel.
amazing.
Yeah, it all depends on the client too that I have. So I'll always have to ask the client first, but which most clients I know don't mind. But if I've got a client that is quite easy, yeah, I'll definitely bring a young girl along with me, or a guy, whoever it may be, and they can experience what I do.
Fantastic. Well, what I might do is ask anyone that's listening that's Sydney based, I guess, that's interested in
Mm,
contacting you and perhaps shadowing you or asking any further questions.
absolutely, sure,
And indeed, anyone that has any further questions around working in a retail centre, taking
yeah.
stylists on a shopping tour, building relationships with those individual brands, send your questions in and we'll get you to answer a few more for us.
Absolutely, I'd love to do that. Absolutely.
Thank you, my love. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Anytime. Good luck to all the young stylists out there. And it's all about just going in there and showing off what and how to make women and men feel beautiful.
Gorgeous. All right, lovely. Speak soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.